in a greater self-confidence and personal growth. In every Toastmaster online meeting, there are the certain ground rules to follow. Rule number 1, if you're not a speaker, kindly put yourself on mute. Rule number two, when you are moving around, kindly switch off your videos to avoid the disturbance. Rule number 3, I request speakers to refrain from making any reference to sex, religion, and politics in their speeches. Rule number 4, kindly attend every meeting in a formal attire. And finally, rule number 5, if you are a guest, kindly prefix your word guest in your name. For example, if Santosh is a guest, then it will be guest-Santosh. I wish you all a fantastic meetings. Now, I would like to welcome our club president, Toastmaster Raghunath Nair. About him, he works for the Nissan Motors, heading South Asia Business Unit. He has been associated with the Toastmaster International for over 2 decades and proud Medley since 2019, and also our former Vice President Educations. Let us put our hands together in welcoming our club president, Toastmaster Raghunath Nair.
Reku, you're on mute.
Thank you so much, Mohan. Sorry for that. Yeah. Good afternoon, Medleyans, fellow Toastmasters, including our Charter President, Vienna, distinguished guest. A warm good afternoon. I was reading an article last week, and what fascinated me is the 3 questions which it had. It had like the 3 questions of what is zero and what is infinity? Or can zero and infinity be the same? You know, with the love to physics and maths, I thought I knew the answers before I could read the rest of the speech or the article. And what I had an answer is like zero means nothing. Like, you know, it's nothing. Infinity means a number greater than what can be a countable number. So it's like zero and infinity are just an opposite, and they can never be the same. And then came that question, like, how can there be a number which is greater than any countable number? And then the author was explaining the concept of infinity in a very interesting way. And one example which he gave me, which struck, was like, he was equating it to an illiterate shepherd who can count only up to 20. So now if the number of sheep, if he has, is less than 20, and you ask him how many sheep, he might be telling you very precisely whether it is like 3, 14, or something like that. How when it reaches above 20, is likely to say that it is too many. So the science of infinity means too many and not countable. And in the same way, zero means it's like too few and not like nothing. So that was a great point which I could get and wanted to share. And today we have to lead today's session, we have our great Rajnikant fan, and who this year, April, is completing 10 years in Toastmasters. And how I wanted to relate, like when I asked him about his life and his journey in Toastmasters, he was saying like it's like a sine wave, you know, too much of peak at one side or sudden silence quite for some time, and he wanted to make it as a straight line in the near future. Then that actually reminded me of the story that I was talking about, zero and infinity, which has its own effect in life. It could be like whether we are comparing with rich or being poor, or less or be having more. It all depends on from where or which contest we are comparing from. And before I request Toastmaster Guru to come on stage, let me get some guests to talk about how they came to know about Medley and how they are here. Aishwarya, would you like to introduce yourself? And
Yeah, yeah, sure, sir. I'm Aishwarya Lakshmi. I based out of Tuticorin, and I did my bachelor's degree in the stream of computer science, and I belong to 2020 passed out batch. Now, currently, I'm working as a project support officer in AstraZeneca, and it's almost 8 months since I've joined there. And my project manager, he routed me to this session just to improve my my public speaking skills. Yeah, that's it, and that's pretty much about myself. Looking forward for an
excellent. Welcome,
interesting and
Aishwarya,
informative
once
session.
again to Medley, for sure.
Thank you, sir.
Please enjoy our meeting. And now, to take us through the whole of the meeting as theme, We the People, let's put our hands to welcome Toastmaster Guru on stage. Over to you, Guru, DTM Guru.
Thank you, Presiding Officer and President, the man who knew infinity, Toastmaster Raghu. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. And welcome to today's special edition of Toastmasters meeting, as I consider. It has various reasons for it. One of the reasons is what you see in my back end. In a couple of days, we are going to celebrate our calculate yours. It should be 71st, 70 years past being a democratic republic. We are going to celebrate that day. And also today's meeting is unique of its kind, or different of its kind. We are trying to adapt another model of conducting Toastmasters meeting, about which I'll explain in a moment. However, to begin with, let us first understand the significance of this day that we are celebrating, and let us be proud about it. We have 2 days to celebrate or define the status of our country. One we celebrate is on August 15th, Independence Day. The second one is Republic Day, 26th of January. And I'm not sure whether we are all completely aware of the difference between these 2 days. However, I also thought I'll share my way of looking at it. Independence Day is comparable to the birth of a child. On the day, it could be in a hospital, it could be in a nursing home, or even sometimes at home. The child is born, we are curious, we are happy, we distribute sweets, we look at the child and be happy. But still, nothing is clear. A child is born, that much we know. There are so much things to be done to take care of the child, to be safe, to be brought to the outside world. So the still mother and child are inside closed, secure doors, under close observation. And then after a couple of weeks, depending on your beliefs, your sentiments and ceremonies, then we prepare a place for the child and buy some dresses for the child and conduct a small ceremony to name the child. And then we declare the child open to the public. It may be different religions or different practices will have different ways of doing this, but in general, this is what we do. On that day, that child officially becomes known to the world as Guru Prasad or Raghunath or whoever it is. So that is the difference between what we celebrate on August 15th. August 15th was the day, the birthday when India became an independent nation, and we just knew about it. We have become independent. But what are we going to do? How are we going to run this country as an independent union? All those things became clearer after close to 2.5 years, when a constituent committee was formed. They worked together, created a constitution, formed all the states, created so many things for us. And for all that thing, after all that thing, we became a declared republic where we, the people, run this country. We don't leave it to monarchs or some certain specific individuals to run this country, but we, the people, run this country. That is why our constitution, subsequent to a few other constitutions, for example, like the Constitution of the United States of America, we also have the opening sentence of the constitution as "We, the people of India." that also means that every one of us is responsible in the growth of the country. We have rights to live in this country under various articles. At the same time, we have duties to perform to make this country great. And that is how our Republic was formed. And as an identity of creating our constitution on that day, January 26th was the day on which the constitution was adapted by the then team called Constituent Assembly, which became Parliament of India later. And that is what we celebrate as 26th January 1950. So let us be proud on one side on this day, and let us be responsible and accountable as we, the people of India. And that is going to be the theme of today's meeting, we, the people. So for those people who are new to Toastmasters, to make the meeting every week interesting, we introduce a concept called theme of the day and a word of the day. So we encourage everyone who participates in the meeting to somehow align with this theme as well, apart from whatever they are planning to deliver. So somehow in your speeches or in your acts, in your performances, you will somehow align with this statement called we the people, and grammarian will also describe something more exciting and interesting on a specific challenge for this day. Dear friends, my co-citizens of India, I think everyone, today's strength is full of Indian citizens. Welcome to this meeting. Well, we conduct our 609th Toastmasters meeting of Medley, as well as celebrate the Republic Day of India. So what do we do in a Toastmasters meeting? Typically is we allow our members to present their prepared speeches as per their manual, as per their journey into Toastmasters. Currently, that journey is called Pathways. So a few number of speakers are going to present their speeches, going to tell us something that they have identified, gathered, analyzed, and collated. They're going to share with us some message and then deliver it in the form of a speech. Then comes a surprising man who's going to pull up people and start asking them giving them some topic, ask them to talk whatever they want in aligned to that topic. That's going to be called as table topics. Then we have a bunch of people who have observed these speeches and made certain other observations on overall events of this meeting, and they're going to give their feedback. I'll come to that later. Normally in our typical Toastmasters meeting so far, we used to have another person, a colleague sitting next to me called as General Evaluator, who will also parallelly run a show along with me. I'll be responsible for conducting this whole session, where that person will be responsible for observing this whole session. And in the end, he and his team will deliver their report. So this week, we are going to make a small difference where there will not be any general evaluator in this meeting per se. I will be doing the role of introducing every member of the team, the speakers, the evaluators, the tag team, everyone. And then in the end, we are going to introduce to you a person called Master Evaluator, who will give his complete feedback on the entire meeting. So this meeting is going to be 3 portions plus 1 to the Master Evaluator. So to understand what these observing team are going to do, I would like to call one upon one to explain their roles so that you be ready to enjoy this meeting. Also be sure that you don't miss anything in this meeting. I'm calling the timer, the timekeeper of this whole meeting, Toastmaster Renu Narayan, to explain her role in this meeting. Renu, please.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Can you hear me? Yes? Okay.
Yes.
Today my responsibility is to help all the speakers speak within a specified period of time. Today we have 3 speakers prepared speeches. One is Toastmaster Tyagarajan, and his speech is 20 minutes. But he has requested me that I should show the cards from within. He has 2 parts to his speech. One is where he will be giving the speech, and the second part is when he has a question and answer session. So the first part, I will show the green card at 13 minutes, the yellow card at 14 minutes, and the red card at 15 minutes. And the second session, which is question and answer, I will be showing the green card at 3 minutes, yellow card at 4 minutes, and the red card at 5 minutes. So that is as far as Toastmaster Tyagarajan is concerned. And the second speaker is Toastmaster Rohit. He has a 5 to 7 minute speech. So I'll be showing the Sorry, I've not been showing the cards. I'll be showing the green card at 5 minutes, the yellow card at 6 minutes, and the red card at 7 minutes. The same applies for Toastmaster Shankar. He is giving a speech which is 5 to 7 minutes. So I will be showing the green card at 5 minutes and the yellow card at 6 minutes and the red card at 7 minutes. So this is my role for today. And of course, sorry, I also have to keep a time for the to table topic speeches as well as the evaluators. For table topics, it's 2 minutes, 1 to 2 minutes, and I will show the green card at 1 minute. I will show the yellow card at 1.5 minutes, and I will show the red card at 2 minutes. The speaker can finish, has another 30 seconds to finish the speech. Then for evaluators, it's 3 minutes. I will be showing the green card at 2 minutes, the yellow card at 2.5 minutes, and the red card at 3 minutes. They have 30 seconds to finish off the speech. So this is my role today. I will give you the complete report at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Renu. Now I move on to introducing another person called R Counter, who is Toastmaster Priyadarshini. Priya, please come and explain your role.
Yes. We all know what were the words that stood out when Biden gave his inaugural speech, right? So today I'm going to make note of all those filler words which stood out when a speaker came here to give his speech. We, the people of this Medley Toastmasters Club, are trying to free ourselves from these filler words such as so, you know, but. Yes, and I'm here to make note of this, and I will be giving my report when called upon by General Evaluator or Master Evaluator today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Priya. Now I'm moving over to the third person of this observation team, who is called as grammarian, the language scientist of the day. I would like to invite distinguished Toastmaster Sunil Jose to explain his roles, please.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, good afternoon. Today I've been given a Republic Day challenge to be a grammarian. As a grammarian, it's my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers and listen carefully to their language uses. I'll take note of any improper language which I think and I believe is improper, as well as any outstanding words, quote, saying, or thoughts. Now, as a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. As we all know, as our TMOD also explained, Republic Day honors the date on which the Constitution came into effect on 26 January 1950, replacing the Government of India Act of 1935 as the governing document of India, and thus turning the nation into a newly formed republic. Now, in respect of that, in respecting the Constitution, today's word will be constitute, which means to form or make something. Please note, constitution will not be considered as a usage. Only constitute or constituting will be considered as a usage. This is a challenge. Examples. The constitute means to form or make something. Examples. Women constitute about 10% of parliament. The under 18s constitute nearly 25% of the town's population. Each speaker, each one who comes to the stage, who speaks in this, gets an opportunity to speak in this meeting, is encouraged to use the word of the day. I will give the grammarian report when I'm called upon during the meeting, and also the report on usage of the word of the day, as well as the theme of the day, we the people of India. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, grammarian distinguished Toastmaster Sunil Jose. Now, without much ado, we'll move on to the main session. The team of 3 Toastmasters constitute the prepared session, and let me call upon them one by one to deliver the speeches. The first prepared speech session, first speaker of the prepared speech session. So this whole session is like what India did between 1947 and 1950. These people sat down, went through their objectives in the project manual, and prepared a speech, gave it a shape, practiced multiple times, and they're going to deliver their message to us. The first speaker of this session is a person much respected in Medley, a very senior member, and also a mentor, guide, guru of many of the Toastmasters. We call him as fondly Shakespeare of Medley Toastmasters Club, a man with highest language proficiency I've ever come across is Toastmaster T.R. Tyagarajan. He had been our past president and had been vital in growing many Toastmasters. What other thing many Toastmasters today don't know is he is a scientist, microbiological scientist, who was heading the Department of Virology in King's Institute. In today's scenario with COVID vaccines coming in, he is the person to whom we can go and ask our clarifications to understand before getting injected ourselves. Also, he is the one in those days of no Googles or no internet brought this knowledge of science in the areas of microbiology, diseases, antibiotics, everything to common people by writing fantastic columns in science and technology forums of newspapers like the Hindu and Indian Express. And he has a vast experience of delivering such columns, and it's not without difficulties. He shamelessly told me that, let me be frank, it's not that my first ever paper got published. I had to go through a cycle of rejections, then slowly improved upon, understood the value of editing and presenting a message. Then I became successful. So we take it as a lesson from him, and we'll hand over to Toastmaster Tyagarajan. Before that, I would like to invite Toastmaster Saravanan to read out the objectives of his speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Tyagarajan is attempting his speech on dynamic leadership pathways, level 4.
Can you be a little louder, Saravanan?
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Is it okay? Yeah, okay, fine. Toastmaster Tyagarajan is giving his speech on dynamic leadership pathways, level 4, elective question and answer session. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn about and practice facilitating a question and answer session. The purpose of this speech is for the member to practice delivering an informative speech and running a well-organized question and answer session. The member is responsible for managing time, so there is adequate opportunity for both. The timer, please note the time is 18 to 20 minutes. Over to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Saravanan. I'm handing over to Toastmaster Tyagarajan tidbits from Madras history. Tidbits from Madras history. Toastmaster Tyagarajan. Sir, a kind request. Currently, your camera is slightly up. We are able to see only from your lips to your head. Can you move a front or edges? Over to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, now. Yes, sir. Yeah. No. Am I visible and audible?
Yes, sir. Very much.
Yes. Okay. Now, so visible and audible. Visible. Please.
Yes, sir.
Make
Yes, sir.
some
Both
sign.
visible
Yes,
and
sir. You're
audible.
visible, sir. Visible
Yes,
and
you are
audible.
visible and audible, sir.
Oh, audible. Okay. Thank you very much. Timer, from this moment you count my time. Yes. Okay. Salutations to all of you. This is the title of the speech is Tidbits from History of Madras. See, in the year 1639, two high-ranking officials of East India Company, one's name was Francis Day and another was Andrew Cogan. They were busily inspecting a huge vacant land, yes, facing the Marina seashore. What was it all about it? They have been entrusted by the East India Company to build a fort in order to promote trade and commerce around Madras. Madras then was known as Madarasa Pattinam. Pattinam means it should have a coastal, it should be a coastal city or a town. Pattinam, Adama Pattanam, and Visakhapattinam, etc., etc. It should have a coastal area. So Madarasa Pattanam was then ruled by a chieftain by name Chenna Vengadappa Nayakar. So they had to get a kind of a lease or a memorandum of understanding, yes, to make it more explicable. So who did the brokerage? brokerage was skillfully carried out by one Tambuchetti, very capable man, and easy remembered now, gloriously remembered that Tambuchetti. Go to Georgetown, the busiest thoroughfare has been named after him. Tambuchetti Street. No one can miss the street if they want to see the whole of Georgetown. So Tambuchetti did the brokerage, and Andrew Cogan and Francis Day settled down and completed the structure, a skeleton structure in year 1644. Yes, added to it, they also built a church dedicated to Saint Mary. And that church is the oldest Anglican church, which we can see, all of us can go see there. I have seen, I visited 2 or 3 times. And what about this? That was named as Saint Mary's Church. This fort was named and dedicated to the patron saint of England, Saint George. That's how it got its name, the Fort Saint George. And if you come out from the fort now, you can walk around the promenade, and what you will witness, a row of statues lengthening for 2 or 3 miles. In fact, Madras city can be described maybe as a city of statues. And still there is only one statue which demonstrates a productive and positive message. This statue is that of Mahatma Gandhi. In the Mylapore seashore, you will see it. Mahatma Gandhi is anxiously, he'll be holding a staff in his hand. And anyone will imagine that he is looking on for something. Yes, something missing, and he is searching for it. Hey, don't think that he is searching for Shundal or Kadalai in Mylapore seashore. Yes, he was searching for truth, eternal truth. That was his lifelong mission. That is the message he is conveying to everyone. And that statue was unveiled none other than by the first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru. And as a student, I had the privilege of watching it. And another statue which will captivate a very tourist or a very citizen of Madras is the Monroe statue. Yes, it is installed at the Nukkodi Annashala. No one will miss it. An equestrian majestically is riding on a horse, obviously. And if you closely observe the statue, you will find that the whole statue is an absurd one. You will find no stirrups, and you will also see no saddle. And this statue was sculpted in England, made of bronze. It was installed here in the year 1839. In Sir Thomas Munro breathed his last in 1833. And this statue was installed in honor of him. But all the statues have been removed, you should note. All European statues have been consigned as exhibits in museums. This alone has survived the onslaught because Monroe was a benevolent governor. His reforms, right-authority system, is still being followed by our government. He loved the natives passionately. And he was also a strong devotee of Venkatachalapati, Thirumalai Tirupati Devasthan. So Monroe once had an acute abdomen pain, which got never cured. And he took a vow to visit and pay homage to Lord Venkateswara, offered prayer to Lord Venkateswara. He got cured. And as a special gesture, what did he do? He brought a huge vessel, and with full of Tirupati Prasadam, he donated it to Devasthan. Still, anyone can see that huge vessel, but not with Prasadam now. Oh, that was the kind of man that Sir Thomas Munro was. And here, if you come along a little bit, there is one area that is, in those days, I am taking you back to 17th century. Yes, I am a student of history, you know that. No, there, it was a hub of handloom weavers. Yes, adjoined to the Anna statue now. Handloom weavers. And one day, the Governor Yale. Yes. Why you refer to Governor Yale? Because he is married, he became governor of Chennai, and his wedding was solemnized in the St. Mary's Church inside the Fort St. George, that governor. Another celebrity whose marriage was solemnized in St. Mary's Church was that of Robert Clive. Yes, Robert Clive's name is a little bit odious for every Indian because he sowed the seed of British Empire. And our ancestors had to live for 300 years as British slaves. So no one will like his name. But his marriage was solemnized in St. Mary's Church. And you see, I have seen the register, marriage register in the St. Mary's Church. Anyone can go and see. There you can see the signature of Lord Clive. Yes, it is still preserved. And way back in the, I mentioned about handloom, the hub of handloom industry. That handloom industry was known as Chinna Taripetai in those days. Governor Yale, about whom I mentioned, he visited that area and was very much impressed by the quality of that handloom textiles, especially its structure. So instantly he reacted. He ordered that the handloom textiles produced at Chinnatharipete should be exported to all the European countries. There was a very great demand for it. And Governor Yale was the one who was instrumental to make Chennai as a corporation, the first corporation, local body, highest local body. It was he who founded by a quaint chart, not in a simple way. And it is the first corporation in India, Madras Corporation. Okay, Governor Yale, in my view, I will call him as a graceless traitor. What did you do here? He exported slaves to London. He kidnapped. There are records. Please go and see Google. Yes, he kidnapped children from streets of Madras and exported as slaves to London. From there, they will be taken to US. Yes. So Governor Yale became a little bit unpopular, and what did they do? They brought into the regulation such that the slave trade never flourished more in Madras. As for Chinnatharipete, as you know, that area got anglicized, its name. Now it is known as Chundagaripete. It is known as Chundagaripete. That's how that area gets its name, Chindadari. Let me take water. So that's about Chindadari. That's his original name is Chinnatharipet. Now, see, there is another man which every citizen of Madras should remember. That is Embermanar Chettiar. Who is that man, Embermanar Chettiar? Embermanar Chettiar was a super celebrity of Madras, Madrasa Pattanam in those days. He was the first one to buy a motor car in Madras. As he was fabulously rich, he bought about 99 grounds in where? In Chettiarpet. He named it as Chettiarpet. 99 grounds. And his astrologer cautioned him, sir, if you buy 100 ground, it will end in disasters. Your horoscope says. Chettiar shuddered. So he stopped investing his money on real estate. So he lived in a huge mansion. It is still there, and his descendants are living there. Huge mansion. And what was the business he was carrying? He was a leading building contractor and using Indo-Saracenic architecture. It was he who introduced this kind of architecture, Indo-Saracenic architecture. There will be a dome in every building. That is characteristic of a Indo-Saracenic architecture. What were the landmark buildings were built by Embermanar Chettiar? The first one is Madras High Court. Madras High Court complex was out and out, that was his creation. He also built the old lighthouse, and added to it, he built the Presidency College, Senate Hall facing the seashore, and also the office of Southern Railway. So they are all his Central Station, Southern Railway, and many other buildings, landmark buildings, were his creation. Embermanar Chettiar was a bounteously generous, was a bounteous philanthropist. Yes. Then what did you do with all his money then? Srinivasa Ramanujam, the mathematical wizard, in 1920, he came back from London. In those days, whoever has crossed waters and visited overseas, they will be considered outcast. So Srinivasa Ramanujam was not exception. He was denied lodging in Chennai, in Madras. No one came forward to provide him accommodation, nor food. So Embermanar Chettiar said, you fools, keep quiet. I will take you. He offered a red carpet welcome in his mansion for Srinivasa Ramanujam and gave him an independent house in Egmore. And he also took care of his health. But despite it, he died as a guest of Embermanar Chettiar. And any other thing about Madras? Definitely. During the Second World War, citizens of Madras proved to be lion-hearted citizens. Yes, you'll be surprised to know, during Second World War, Japanese bombers flew over Mailapuram, Triplicane occasionally. And citizens were living under Domicil sword, anytime to be bombed. This pandemic scare is nothing. Anytime they'll be bombed. That was the condition then. And they did bomb Japanese near the west part of Fort St. George, but there was no casualty. Yes, that is true. No. So the British government, because of scarcity, one of the consequences was food scarcity, especially rice. There was no rice available anywhere. That is that is the staple diet of every citizen, rice. So alternatively, British government imported wheat on a massive quantity from Australia. That was available. So even dosha idli were banned in all the restaurants. Oh, yes, necessity is the mother of invention. Our chefs turned into wizards, that. If the culinary skill, they invented rava dosha. Rava dosha, rava upama, rava idli. Yes, kesari, everything made of rava, wheat products. Yes, they surfaced for the first time in Madras. And even now, they are all byproducts of Second World War. Mind you, rava dosha, rava idli, everything. And Newton's introduced vegetable cutlet. Yes, that is credit should go to Krishna Rao. Yes. In the Newton's, he prepared vegetable cutlet, which was very popular. And so this is the timer. Still time available? Yes. Timer.
The question answer already started.
Time over. 15 minutes over.
15 minutes. It's almost 16 minutes over.
Over.
Yes.
Then we can switch over to question and answer session. Thank you all very much for having given me a patient hearing. Now let us move on to question and answer session for 5 minutes.
Yes, sir, this is Guru here.
Yes.
Can you hear me, sir?
5 minutes.
Yeah, I have a question, sir. Guru here, I have a question.
Yeah, yes, come in.
What is the place called Esplanade known for?
Please, you put it in, right? Yes, because audibility is here poor. Yes, you do. Oh, yes. What is?
I have typed it.
Esplanade. What is Esplanade?
Yes.
That, you see, that area has got several names because King George visited India in 1911. So it was named as Georgetown. And another place is Esplanade. Yes, that is means a square it should be there. That Esplanade is, I think, has been borrowed from London. That name. Yes. And Paris is also such. Paris is does not refer to the capital of France. Please take it from me. It refers to Thomas Paris. Yes, founder of sugar industry. Nellikupam, you will be heard. Yes, Thomas Paris was a great Englishman. He died of cholera. Yes, in Nellikupam. He didn't die in his native, he didn't die in England. He died in Nellikupam. He became a victim of cholera, died there. And you can see his factory still functioning, Paris. So it was named after Thomas Paris, and a building, a Dare House. Now I do not know whether it exists or Dare House.
Yes.
D-A-R-E-H-O-U-S.
Yes.
That was built by him quite long ago. Any other question?
Sir, I have a question. Thomas here. My question is, with so few whites, that is British, how did the officers find their brides, suitable brides?
How did the British find
suitable brides?
Suitable
brides.
No.
Wives.
No, rice. You mean how did the British find suitable rice? They
bride, wife.
That's how the Anglo-Indian. Yes, that's how the Anglo-Indian race came into being. Such a phenomenon occurs throughout the world. Any Britishers, They settle down there. Even in Vietnam, what will they will establish a relationship with the local women. They will make them mothers, and they will leave for their country. That such babies are known as war babies. War babies. So Madras was not dearth of war babies. Many came. And one thing I tell you, the habit of smoking, it was brought only following the First World War. You can't see a smoker before 1914. Definitely not. When all the soldiers came back from First World War, they all came puffing a cigarette in their hands. Everyone was surprised. That's how smoking came into being. And lot of tons and tons of money were made, especially during the interwar period, the First World War, Second World War. Yes, because no one knew that smoking, a chain smoker may become a victim of cancer that came to light only after 1960. So that's why this Imperial Tobacco Company and other companies, they made tons and tons of money. Now only an awareness has been created. And also the First World War, many ladies were bop. Isn't it? You see bop. The bop was not to be seen before 1919. That is also an imported culture. Bop. And as far as I am concerned, only one incident you will all laugh. When I was a tiny 60-year-old boy, when I was traveling in a man-hauled rickshaw, that is cycle, not a cycle rickshaw, the rickshaw would be hauled by a man. And that man's name was Nagappan. Usually he will take me to school. On my way, what happened? I shouted, Nagappa, Nagappa, Nagappa. Oh, traffic came to, and what was the spectacle I saw? In 1948, I saw a woman was driving a car. Yes, not only me, everyone stopped their vehicle. About cyclists, everyone got out. That woman, gently, she stopped the car and then bought something. Yes. And when I narrated in the school, everyone raised with their eyebrows. Woman driving a car. Woman driving a car. Where? Yes, that was the condition then. Yes. Any more questions? But in India,
if time is there, how Madras presidency was formed, sir? Because I have heard it covered several areas of South India in the name of Madras presidency. Just a hint, if time is there, sir.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, but the time is up.
Okay.
Thank you. After the meeting, no problem.
Timer, yes, Mr. T.M. Modi, please. Time management is very crucial. Please take it.
Yes, we will plan some extended session on your special speech after the meeting during our casual chat, sir, because this is going on really interesting. And thank you very much, Toastmaster Tyagarajan, for your fantastic session on the nostalgic journey of Chennai versus Allies Madras. It is so special that for one more reason, that the speech is not given by referring to books or referring to Google. You have lived through those ages, and you are also sharing your personal experiences watching the growth of Chennapatnam to Madrasapatnam to Madras to Chennai. That was really interesting. And what I liked personally in your speech was my favorite Rava dosa was created out of Chennai as a necessity. Thank you very much for your fantastic speech. Before we move on to our next speaker, audience, I have a request for you. You can have your own notepad, a physical notepad or your laptop notepad. Make your own observation of the speech or suggestion. You can pass it on to a specific speaker later. And also, please rank all these speakers on your side. In the end, we are going to ask all of you to vote for them. Sorry, Toastmaster Ranga, you raised a hand. Is there anything you want to tell before going to the next speaker? Okay. While we move on to the project speaker number 2, I would like to introduce Toastmaster Rohit Madappa, who is the project speaker number 2, who works in Cognizant as a consultant in healthcare domain, and he's so proud of working over there. What is so special is a couple of years ago, he was awarded the best employee consecutively 2 times within a year. So he's so proud of those moments and his service over there. And he feels that the mention of we the people in Constitution means we are collectively responsible. We have no differences. We have no discrimination. We are together responsible to be the faithful, sincere citizens of this great nation and build it to the best of our ability. With your kind words on and your patriotic fervor on this country, I would like to hand over the stage to you, while we need a minute before that to transfer to Toastmaster Ramesh Rajendran to read out your objective. Over to Ramesh.
Hope I'm audible. Thank you, sir. So, as an evaluator, my target, my speaker would be Rohit Madappa. So, his pathway is Innovative Planning, Level 2, Project 3, and the project name is Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring. And the title is My Preceptors. The time is 5 to 7 minutes to be noted. And the objective of the purpose statement of his project would be for a member to clearly define how Toastmaster envisions mentoring, and for a member to share some aspects of his previous experience as a prodigy. So with this, I would like to share this to Guru Prasad.
Thank you very much, Ramesh. So over to Toastmaster Rohit, my preceptors, Toastmaster Rohit.
Okay. All right. Am I audible and visible? Okay. All right. You must pray for me because I need your prayers. These were the words of young Agnes Boyatzou to a saint whom she met while waiting for a bus in Rome. At the sight of the saint, she thought, I'm a sinner, he's a saint. It might be good for a sinner to ask a saint for a prayer. A chance encounter with Father Michael Pete that day while waiting for a bus in Rome quickly developed into a close bonding that transformed Mother Teresa in committing her life to orphanages and other charities worldwide. A very good afternoon to fellow Toastmasters and guests. We can all identify at least one person who made a big difference, a significant and positive impact on our lives. They are mentors with more vast experience, knowledge, and wisdom who have changed the course and molded our thoughts. Our mentors are these people in our lives who help us stay on the right track by constantly guiding and nudging us along the way. As a student, I never knew what a mentor was, right through school and college until I landed my first job, where all the freshers were assigned a senior who also played the role of a mentor. Only role this mentor, senior come mentor, played to perfection was to monitor who walked in and walked out of office at what time. 3 years into my profession, I came across a very few people who had that uncanny knack to identify that missing link in me. One of them was a colleague 10 years my senior. Walking back home from office one evening, he told me, look, it would be better for you to move into a technical role within the same domain, the domain in which I started my career. At that point of time, it seemed unthinkable. But somehow I bought into my senior colleague's advice, and 6 months later, with very minimal knowledge and no experience at all, I took up this technical role. Initially, it was a struggle, and almost every day I came to curse my senior colleagues' advice and my own decision. 2 years into my new role, I grew into this new technical job of mine, and then I started liking my job. I saw a few good career progressions as well along the way. Then I came to realize, it became apparent that my senior colleagues' advice that day was a wise one indeed. Mentors have this knack of giving even a minute suggestion, a very subtle suggestion can help a protege break that glass ceiling. Then came Toastmasters. I've had two designated official Toastmasters in DTM Guru Prasad and Toastmaster Priyadarshini, both brilliant and accomplished Toastmasters themselves. One with a humorous approach and the other with a direct approach. There is a message to align myself to be a Toastmaster and also a better person. Then the official mentors who provide invaluable tips every now and then to improve. Both official and unofficial mentors play a major role in shaping a Toastmaster personally and professionally. However, there is no one size fits all approach to mentoring. One needs to identify what's the best style that meets the protege's objectives. Over the period of my professional career, I've come to realize that there are three roles in mentoring that can be key for a fruitful mentor and mentee relationship. One, consultant. Share your expertise with your mentee. Two, be a counselor. Listen to your mentee without any prejudice. Number three, cheerleader. Be a critic as well as a supporter. Currently, mentoring is like a pop culture. According to a 2020 Harvard Business Review report, more than 75% of the professional people need 75% of the professional people need a mentor, of which only 37% constitute to have just one mentor. People acting as mentors narrowed down their focus only into a mentee's career progression and to a large extent neglect to mentor the person as a whole. These days, mentoring has come to such a stage that there has been a lot of focus and effort spent on identifying talent, unearthing the hidden traits, and skill-based training. Mentors guide and proteges learn. To quote a scene from the movie The Wolf of Wall Street, Mark Hanna, a mentor to Jordan Belfort, a young stockbroker, a character played by Leonardo DiCaprio. It was Hanna's erratic and questionable advice to Belfort. Move the money from your client's pocket into your own pocket. This thought, Belfort starts by thinking, if I can make money for your clients, it is advantageous to everybody. This thought transferred Belfort from a naive young licensed stockbroker to a wild, scandalous crook. A mastermind in a stockbroking scam landed Belfort in jail for 6 years. It can all go downhill for a mentee if the guidance is all fallacious. To conclude, do not be ashamed to ask for any help. Asking for help shows that you have the intent and the willingness to go the extra mile. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Rohit, sharing your view on mentoring with ample quotes. And of course, apart from your speech, what I liked was I could even see a music instrument, drums behind you. Maybe sometime we conduct some musical journey along with Toastmaster Jagan. We may invite you to join him in delivering us a musical performance as well. Thank you very much. We move on to the third speaker of the day. That would be Toastmaster Shankar. Toastmaster Shankar works as a finance manager in a multinational bank. He understands the Constitution very well and he applies it. He takes the responsibility of the fundamental duties of a citizen, and he, as part of who constitute the group called We the People, he has chosen to select some underprivileged people in the area of Pondicherry who are first graduates from their family and who are striving to, are working hard to grow well. He has conducted coaching and mentoring classes for them in things like communication skills, public speaking, resume writing, and even helping them in forming a vision and goal for their family. What a fantastic way to sound in line with our Constitution. Before inviting Toastmaster Shankar to the speech, I would like to invite his evaluator, Toastmaster Dinesh, to read out the objectives. Over to you, Dinesh.
Thank you, sir. Toastmaster Shankar is doing his dynamic leadership level 3 project number 4. His project name is creating effective visual aids. The title of the speech is My Impulsive Trip. Timer, please note the time is 5 to 7 minutes. And the purpose of his speech is to practice selecting and using a variety of visual aids during a speech. Thank you, and all the best, Shankar.
Over to you, Toastmaster Shankar. My impulsive trip, Toastmaster Shankar.
Thank you, DMOD. Let me share my screen. Is it fine?
Yes,
okay,
we can see it.
Okay,
and we can hear you too.
Okay, thank you, Ranga. Just a minute. Then timer, please start your time now. Okay. Let me ask you a question now. Can anyone tell me what makes your holiday trip is so memorable? Can I have you answer? For it was Master Ranga.
Hello.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, the question, please.
Can anyone tell me what makes your holiday trip is so memorable in your life?
It is a different setting and the friends and the people around me, which makes it the best.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ranga. Great answer. For me, it is always a different experience. In fact, I prepare well in advance with meticulous effort of my trip, but most of the time, my trip was not so memorable. But on the other side, I just planned impulsively, but that trip was so memorable in my life. Today, I would like to talk about to take you through one such trip in my life. Fellow Toastmaster and honorable guest, good afternoon. In October 2019, I just planned a trip to visit Mysore for Dasara festival. It was a 5-day trip to visit Mysore, Hassan and the other places. As per our trip, the last day in our trip, it was to stay in Hassan, which is 500 kilometers away from Chennai. Due to a bad weather condition, we were forced to stay in Chikmagalur. And I never heard the name Chikmagalur ever before. We checked into the hotel, and I was sitting in the lobby and was completely down because I had a plan to visit Hassan to see a gorgeous and magnificent historical temple before sunrise. At the time, the hotel manager had a casual talk with me about my trip, and I told that I'm heading to Chennai by tomorrow. He asked me, "Sir, do you know what is famous in Chikmagalur?" I said, no, I out of frustration said no. But he approached me again and told us, "Sir, please forgive me. If possible, can you extend your trip for one more day? You will have amazing place and the coffee estate. You will be really amazed, sir. Please." I said, "Really?" In a sarcastic note, I'm told, "Not interested. I know this guy wants some business from me. That's why he keep on asking me." Again, He pursued me again and again and showed some of the photos and told in a firm voice, "Sir, if you don't like the place, don't pay the bill." I take a minute. Though I didn't like the hotel manager, but I liked the deal. And since it was on Friday, I thought to extend for one more day to enjoy some scenic beauties and also got some collection from him. The next day, we started in the morning. It was a 10-kilometer drive through dense forest and the hill station. The roads were surrounded by a lot of trees, and we couldn't see any sun rays on the road because of the high density on the trees. And there are some places where there was a drizzling, and we have enjoyed the smell of the rain. One could easily see the herd of deer, wild boars, and peahowns on the way. We are not the exception too. After 45 minutes of our adventure drive, we reached the spot. Wow, what an amazing place, you know. I visited Vietnam, London, and saw many forest area and hills places. I never seen such beauty in my life. The most important thing is the place was not explored by many people, and it was so neat and clean. Since we went in the morning, it was so cold and the mist were hissing as well. The only challenge was that we need to climb about 500 steps to see the hill view. Since my parents were resisted initially, but after seeing the iconic beauty, they wanted to try from the eagle view. Later, I realized that this is one of the highest peak. Sorry, it's the highest peak point in Karnataka. I know you're all waiting for the name of the place. The place name called Mullayanagiri Hill. We were mesmerized about the beauty of the place, and we sit and stand for a couple of hours to enjoy the mind-blowing view. There was no heart to leave the place. Since we wanted to see the other place, we left the place half-heartedly and leaded to the next spot. The next spot, it's a very narrow road. Since it was the monsoon time, there were many places were flooded. About 45 minutes drive, we reached the place called Buttermilk Falls. The beauty of the place was that we could go only in a specialized jeep because there were no roads, proper roads. It was completely mud road. Added to the rain, there were a lot of ups and downs. My son Varun scared in one such big bumps. Thankfully, none of them have noticed my fear. When we near the falls, we heard sound. It was a fun and thrilling experience. And the water falls from 200 feet high, and it's surrounded with a herbal and other coffee estate. The water looked like crystal clear, probably because of that, they might be named as the Buttermilk Falls. When I saw the falls, without any hesitations, I jumped into the falls. Soon after seeing my enthusiasm, my son jumped into the water, followed by my wife and my parents. Then rain started again. We left the place again with the half-hearted me. It was one of the best trip in my life. I went back to the hotel and say big thanks to the hotel manager, and also appreciated myself for extending a trip in Chikmagalur. I learned a very important lesson in this trip. Life is full of surprises and exploring the opportunity. We should be open to accept be it a trip or any other aspects of our life. We should have open mind and thoughts to explore unknown territory. Dear TMOD, are you ready to take your unknown territory? Over to TMOD.
Thank you very much. I'm definitely ready to venture into unknown territories, and that's how I got into Toastmasters as well. That had been an unimaginable journey, and also I remember some of the trips where I had similar experiences, the restaurant guys advising us to go to a place at a particular time, against our interest, and we forcefully go there and end up mesmerized with what we saw. I lived through some of my earlier trips. Thank you very much for making me live through them. So, dear Toastmasters and friends, with this, we have come to the end of the first session of the Toastmasters meeting, which is called as prepared meeting session. January 26th was declared as or decided as the day where the Constituent Assembly would adapt the Constitution and declare our nation as a republic. Is there any reason why suddenly a date? They could have selected January 1st. They could have selected some festival day of typical India like Diwali or Sankranti or your Chitrai 1st. Out of the blue, 26th. It's a day neither coincides with any of your odd even numbers, not the start or end of the month or any stars, anything. How did that number come into picture? Anybody has a clue? In 1929, it was on January 26th, the then Indian National Congress declared that Purna Swaraj, complete independence, is our ultimate goal. We are not settling down with anything called as home rule or shared rule, anything with British. So that day got into the minds and hearts of our people, and hence they decided to take January 26th as our Republic Day. Of course, there's an interesting story behind August 15th as well. So Mountbatten was pressurized by the press in a conference saying that, have you decided to give? He had convened a press conference to declare that we are going to propose or we are going to give independence to India. So press kept on pushing him. Tell me a date. Tell me a date. When are you going to give independence? Suddenly he woke up and said August 15th. Then they noted it down. Out of blue, he said it. There was no reference, no documents. Nowhere it had been discussed as August 15th. And he gave an impromptu answer to the press question. But did that answer come as impromptu as it seemed to be? What was the significance of August 15th, Lord Mountbatten? For him, it was the day in World War when Japan surrendered to the Allies and the World War was almost declared as complete. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get into a session that is called as Table Topics, a copyright name of Toastmasters, where members or guests will be called upon, suddenly given a question or a topic or a theme and asked to talk. Do you think you'll be talking on as it is? Do you think you'll be giving an impromptu speech? No. The actual fact of the matter, whoever have participated will know that the moment you get the topic, your mind brings to you some relationship, some nostalgic memories, some indelible memories, and that becomes your impromptu speech. And in Toastmasters, we also are groomed and trained to become the best impromptu deliverers of the world. Before we get into table topics, ladies and gentlemen, I have a small request and advice to you. Take down your personal notepad. Out of those 3 speeches you watched so far, decide which one captured you the most and just write down the name, because at the end, you may even be forgetting to rank them. My suggestion is rank them. Also prepare your personal opinion to all those people. You can share it to them through the chat window. You can talk to those individual speakers via chat window, share your opinion or appreciation. Now we move on to the table topics. To conduct this, I would like to invite our Toastmaster Dina Haran, who's a Toastmaster of Medley Toastmasters Club, as well as an employee or a part of Tata Consultancy Services for 20 years. Let us forget about business differences for a moment. We may be coming from different corporations, but the word Tata also has a patriotic meaning to our nation. If you want to know, please read the history of Tatas. It's not just with this IT company called Tata Consultancy Services. The name Tata itself is synonymous with the Indian independence struggle and proving to the world the might of India, the intellect of India, the knowledge of India. So I'm really proud of having you as a member in Medley Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Dinakaran. And he feels for a society to progress, our thinking should always be towards we and not I. That's how we can progress as a great nation. With these kind words and nice words from you, I would like to hand over this session to Toastmaster Dinakaran to conduct table topics. Over to you, Toastmaster Dinakaran.
Thank you, TM Modi. Yeah, so hope you are able to hear me, all of you. Okay, let me share my screen. Yeah, okay, yeah. Good evening, dear Toastmasters and guests. After the enthralling prepared speeches session, we are getting into another wonderful session, table topics. As TM Modi briefed about, it's about impromptu speeches, where the speaker can speak about the topics given for 1 to 2 minutes. The speaker can take 30 minutes for clicking through, and then they can talk on their feet. We will quickly get into the session. Timer, yeah, please note that 1 minute for green card, and then 1.3 minutes, 1.5 minutes is for the yellow card, and then 2 minutes is for the red card. Yeah. Okay, so our first speaker is DTM Thomas Abraham. Sir, like we all make New Year resolutions. So what is one New Year resolution for this year for you, and why? DTM Thomas Abraham. What is one New Year resolution for this year, and why?
I'm sorry, I can't see the timer. I would request the timer to shout out when it's red. Thank you. Life has taught me, and over a certain number of years, which I don't want to reveal so that the difference between us becomes very obvious, let me say, any number of times, life has taught me that this New Year resolutions are often a fad. I found that the greatest achievements in my life have come not from New Year resolutions. They have come, especially in the area of academics and in sports, from failures, from apparent insults, from challenge to my ego and my wanting to prove it to myself mostly, and to a few others later. Therefore, if I am going to disappoint you, dear TT Master, don't hold it against me. You hold it for my being honest about minor things.
Green.
Resolution, the problem with, the problem with New Year resolution is you're forcing it. I don't think anything that we force ourselves to do works, except, of course, the habit of having breakfast in the morning, lunch in the afternoon, and dinner in the night. That's fine. But these are things that should come from our mind. These are things, these are impulses that should make us act. Those, I think, should be left to a natural timetable and not a calendar-based timetable. That is probably why New Year resolutions fail. Going back to my earlier proposition, I would recommend that when there is a need, necessity is the mother of all great things. So wait for that, and don't wait for the 1st of Jan and tick and make some statements. It sounds good. It lasts for a week or 10 days. If you are very keen about it, enjoy it. But if you want to achieve things in life, look at what is important, what compels you, what is your passion, and then set a target and make it happen. You have much better chance and much better benefit in life from doing that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, DTM Thomas sir. It was a good view about New Year resolution. But there are people like us, like me personally, if somebody don't force me, it's very difficult for me to get things done. Yeah, so it's my view on this. Yeah, it was wonderful view on the New Year resolution. We'll go to the next speaker, Toastmaster Sundareshan. Yeah.
Yes, table topic master.
When was the last time you tried something new, and what is it? When was the last time you tried something new, and what is it? Toastmaster Sundareshan.
Yeah, fellow Toastmasters and table topic master, good afternoon to you all. It's a nice topic. Thanks for that positive thought. The last time you tried something new, I have to confess here, I'm a lazy walker. I haven't taken care of my health for several years. Well, I do have health conscious. I'm a good vegetarian foodie also. So, but regularly I didn't have the habit of going for walking, even though I was told by the doctor. I'll tell some lame excuse, I can say like a table topic, I have managed my wife also. Every time when she told me to go for a walk, I have said some reason. Every time when my son told me, I have said a reason. Whenever my medical doctor said my weight hasn't reduced, I have said some reason. But these recent months, when I was sitting at home, when I read more about the health and the benefit of walking, sincerely I tried and I started walking by early morning when I was fresh. The cool breeze, the pleasant sunshine, the birds chirping, and the fellow walkers giving a bright smile. Well, little bit shame also for my tummy, and it became a habit by evening also. By God's grace and my stubborn willingness, now I am trying to go for walking by morning and evening also. Believe me, fellow Toastmasters, it's a magic which I have missed all these years, which I should have done years before. Walking in by morning and in the evening. Sitting in the computer cannot be a lame excuse for all of us. Believe me, I've been sitting in computer from 1981, one of the pioneers in IT field. But now I'm paying the price of it also. So let's go for a pleasant walk by morning and evening. Over to table topic master. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sundaresan. Yeah, thank you for bringing in that magic of going for a walk in the early morning. I think it will motivate some of us also to do that. Thank you. Our next table topic speaker is Toastmaster Surya. Toastmaster Surya, the best book that you have read so far. The best book that you have read so far. Toastmaster Surya.
Can I have another topic? I spoke about this.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. What life lesson did you learn in the hard way? Any life lesson that you have learned in the hard way? Toastmaster Surya. Oh, this is okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Every topic master. What is the life lesson you learn the hard way? Okay. Life lessons in the sense, I still remember that. In fact, it was part of my speech that I gave for humorous speech contest. I was not much serious about studies, especially during my childhood days. I was so mischievous and I was running around here and there, jumping everywhere. It was the time when I was studying 8th standard, right? My entire family is actually, very much afraid of 8th standard. Why? Because my father had told me that he had failed in 8th standard, and I happened to see my own elder brother failing in 8th standard. At that time, I was 5 years old, right? I was laughing at him without knowing the seriousness of it. And when I was studying 8th standard, people were eagerly waiting for my result to know what I'm going to get it as a result. As usual, I also failed. So after that incident happened, I took some serious efforts and concentrated on my studies. So I was a bit serious about it. That's one lesson I would say that taught me how important the education is for every single person. So that's one of the things which I learned the hard way. All you, Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Surya, for taking us in the memory lane of your childhood. Thank you. Next TT speaker is Toastmaster Periyasamy.
Yes,
Toastmaster,
Master, I'm here.
Toastmaster Periyasamy, what are you most grateful for in life so far? What are you most grateful for in life so far? Toastmaster Periyasamy.
Yeah, it's a very nice topic, table topic, Master. It's very good to hear. It's like I am very much grateful for having a good parents. It's like in my parents, I born and brought up in a village, in a small village near to Vilupuram district. It's like they are not educated much. Okay, they showed me the education, and they gave me the education. It's like what I wanted to study and what I wanted to live the life. The second thing, it's like my village life, my friends. That's the second thing. They are still there with me, and whatever the difficult times comes, they are helping me. Then third things, my family. Now what I'm living with my wife and my children, beautiful two children and wife. They are supporting me a lot in my career growth and my personal life. Then finally, my official life. It's like I have a good guide. I have a good coach. I can say guide, coach, or teacher. He's my guru, Mr. Velu. He's supporting a lot. When I joined in the organization around 10 years back, I have grown up with the help of my team and his support. So these are the things I'm very much grateful for. Thank you, Table Topic Master. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Periyasamy. Our next speaker is Aishwarya Lakshmi, Toastmaster Aishwarya Lakshmi.
Yeah.
The one thing that you regret in your life, the one thing that you regret in your life, Toastmaster Aishwarya Lakshmi.
Can I get any other topic other than this?
Sure, yeah. What is your most beloved childhood memory? What is your most beloved childhood memory?
Thank you.
Toastmaster Aishwarya.
Yes. My most childhood memory is like during my fourth standard, I guess. We went to a family trip, like to Black Thunder. It's a theme park. We enjoyed a lot there, and you know, my mom, dad, and my grandma, grandpa, everybody, we visited there, and we enjoyed a lot as well. Land games as well as water games and ghost, ghost. House, we enjoyed a lot, and that's my one of the unforgettable childhood memory. Yeah, and yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aishwarya.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Our next speaker is Toastmaster Venkatesan.
Table Topic Master, my request, let this be the last speaker, please.
Yeah, sure, Tiamuri. Toastmaster Venkatesan.
Yeah, yes, thank you. Thank you for the nice topic, Table Topic Master.
Yeah. What are
Good afternoon, Toastmasters and distinguished guests. I would like to start Be the People with a quote. Whatever happened to you is only 10%, but how you react to it is 90%. My personal values are, by birth, I have a photographic memory. Till date, I won't forget about the good deeds did against me. Those my friends, relatives, colleagues, and the bad deeds. But I'll forget about the bad deeds immediately. Another personal value is I do not want to commit with anyone else by financially. Rather, I won't sign any document for financial loan, education loan, or any other thing. I'm playing very careful in these things because in our family, in my mother's land, 27 acres land was swallowed by the political party. I don't want to mention that in Madurai. That is why my mother used to taught me all these things. But she used to tell me that every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. That is why even if anybody is doing bad thing against you, do not do anything. If you think or you are capable to do some good things to others, it will help you in your life. I'm following it. Another personal value is, the third one is, I want to be the honest person. Either I commit a mistake in the office or in family, like with wife and with sisters also. Openly, I will admit that. That one of the best, you should have a basic values. It should be taught by parents through mother and father or teacher. Thank you for the nice topic, Table Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venkateshan. Yeah, this I think we are wrapping up the impromptu speech session, the table topic session. I'll hand it over to TM Modi. Thank you, TM Modi. Over to you.
Let us give a big hand to our table topic master for the fantastic way in which this whole session happened. I hope you all really enjoyed the session. And you'd also seen that the topics were so close to everyone's hearts and minds that nobody even hesitated for a moment to talk about it. And this is the secret of winning and coming out with your impromptu messages when you are asked suddenly, that connect it with you personally. Take that question to you personally, and you will have so many things to come out and tell the people. And the quoted examples were August 15th by Lord Mountbatten, as you see, and hence this news, what you see behind me. India was proclaimed as a sovereign democratic republic. Before that, India was declared independence because of dates that came out from the hearts and minds of those people. Now, having declared ourselves a republic, that did not happen quite simply. It was 2.5 years where a set of people sat down and started writing our constitution. Constitution is nothing but a structure to how we are going to grow this country, run this country, live in this country, and how we are going to abide to this union and constitute this as a republic run by the people, for the people, by the people. So in that process, this constitution document was getting prepared. And remember, Indian constitution is the longest constitution document ever written for any country in this world. I think it's some 145,000. I forgot the exact number. You can Google it to find out. However, this was not declared on within a week of independence. People wrote about a first draft of the constitution, and so many other leaders went through, reviewed, evaluated those constitutional documents and gave their feedback as to this could be corrected, this could be added, this could be modified. Accordingly, so many changes were made. Somewhere I read almost about 2,000 changes were made from day one when this document was getting prepared. And that is how the final draft came out, because the final draft is the essence of all the best ideas came from all the best and patriotic people. That's what we are going to do now, helping out our speakers to grow better and better by receiving feedback from others who listen. Before we jump into this session, friends, you will listen to so many table topics delivered by the speakers. Please note down the best one according to you and keep the names separate. In the end, when you're going to ask you to vote for them, you need to remember the names. And also you may give your personal feedback to them on the chat box. I move on to a session called evaluation, where I'm going to invite evaluators one by one and ask them to give their feedback. My first evaluator for the day is Toastmaster, give me a minute, Saravanan. Saravanan is working as a senior manager in Ford, and he also very, very active participant in Medley Toastmasters Club. Any role, any activity, anything you give him takes up wholeheartedly and performs it. He delivered the first product in his department that enabled vehicle connectivity using latest digital innovations like cloud native architecture, microservices, and certain other technology components, which some of you might not understand. However, he feels that moment as a proud moment that he was able to do something productive, achieve something to enable his organization to deliver its commitment to the customers. In that process, build capability in this nation in producing automotive vehicles. Congratulations and thanks for that, Toastmaster Saravanan. And he just advises all fellow citizens that think of 26th of January as a day beyond a normal national holiday, and think about the country and see what you can do for it. Beyond this, I am handing over the session to Toastmaster Saravanan for delivering his evaluation. Over to you, Toastmaster Saravanan.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, DTM Guru. Chennai is a city, but Madras is an emotion. Today, we went through a roller coaster historic journey of Namma Chennai. Please give a big hands to Toastmaster Tyagarajan. Wonderfully done. There are 4 things I liked in his speech. The first one is, it is very clearly related to the manual. If you see the project purpose, it says, practice delivering a well-organized, informative speech that is conducive to Q&A. I am very sure you are able to enthrall the audience in such a way that they have a lot of emotions that are going behind them. At the same time, they were also asking so many questions. I can see in the chat box, there were questions that were coming to you. So that means you are able to catch a topic which is very relevant, very informative, and constitutes various things that are part of Namma Chennai history. Very well done. The second thing I like is the technique. The technique which you have done is milestone based technique, wherein you started with 1639 on how Chennai was formed, how it was formed from Chenna Kesava Nayaka, and then from there it went to 1644, St. Mary's Church. Then it went to 1919, Second World War, and what we have learned from there. Beautifully done. The third thing I like is the information as well as the knowledge of you, because this is coming from a person who has got a credible presence. It is coming from a personal experience. That's what I like the most. And you are able to give more examples out of your personal experience. And we were able to see and relate a visual and mapping exercise as part of that. When you talk about the city of statues, we were also able to visualize those statues. When you talked about Mahatma Gandhi, we were able to visualize. When you talked about Srinivasa Ramanujan, we were able to visualize. The fourth thing I like is about the humor you are able to bring in your speech. So when you told about the city of statues, you are saying that Mahatma Gandhi was looking at something. He was thinking about something. It's not Kadala or something. You brought in a very good humor in that. And then you provided the existence of Rava Idli and Rava Upma and how that came into existence. Beautifully done. So these are the 4 important things I liked in your speech. There are a couple of areas where there are some improvements, which I would like to tell you about that. The first one is on the, again, on the purpose itself. So if you see, you have to facilitate a question and answer session, but the time was very less. It was only 5 minutes or so, and you were able to facilitate 2 question and answers. But what is more important is whether it is challenging or whether you are able to handle a difficult audience, or you are able to answer some of the impromptu questions that were asked. So these are the points that were needed in the purpose statement. But I feel like, the time was very less allocated for the question and answer sessions. So if you have taken that question and answer sessions, that would have been very nice. And second one is on the time management. If you had given only 12 minutes for your speech and talked about few aspects and talk about the rest of the things for question and answers and describe more about that, it would have been very good. Overall, it is a very nice piece, information speech. I liked it very much. If you can look at these informative activities, it will be very, very good. Over to the TMOD.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Saravanan, for your evaluation of the speech. Now I move on to the second evaluator, who will be Toastmaster Rajendran, and he is a CA aspirant doing his CA final. Believe me, gentlemen, I'm talking this beyond politics. It is the economists for decades as a milestone who had changed the shape of our country. So all the best, Toastmaster Ramesh, on trying to become a chartered accountant in maybe in 20 and become a leading economist, trying to serve our great country. He feels so proud to be Indian because the Constitution allows him to enjoy his rights and exercise. May I request all the speakers to go on mute, please? Allows him to enjoy the rights given to him to live peacefully as a free citizen in this country. At the same time, exercise his duties to ensure this country is growing prosperous. Over to you, Toastmaster Ramesh, for your evaluation.
Thank you, TM Modi, for that warm introduction of me, and thanks for wishing me in advance about my CA. So, fellow Toastmasters and guests, I'm evaluating. My target speaker would be Mohit. So, he is doing his level 2 project 3 introduction of Toastmasters mentoring, my preceptors. So, I would like to start with his verbal evaluation. So, when it comes to clarity, he was very clear and he was able to make each and every point to an extent a very clear one. His vocal varieties, coming to that, he was using a good tone, good speed, and a good volume as his tool. And his eye contact, I would like to encourage him for this, that he stood up and he presented his speech, which is a very good positive note, which is sending to the audience that he is confident when he's presenting such a speech. His eye contact was very good. Though he was a bit far away from the camera, I was not able to see whether he was visualing, but he has a good eye contact. His gestures was very nice. He was giving some various hand gestures to show that he is very confident, and he's channelizing all his speech via body language. He had a good audience awareness. So he had added a quote at the end. He had added a research about Harvard, and he could have added a question at the beginning of the introduction, even to pull the audience even more towards this topic. Though he used Mother Teresa, which is very nice, but if you would have asked a question regarding Mother Teresa or regarding what you expect in a mentor or prodigy, it would have been even nice. His comfort level was very good, as I said before. His topic was really nice and interesting. So let me come to the speech aspect of this. So his speech requires to be questioned in this four. That is, he has demonstrated how a mentor should be reliable. So he has taken experience in his journey where he has jumped to this technical aspect of his career by asking his senior, because he had an experience and good knowledge on it. So he made a good comparison for a mentor, what makes a mentor successful and efficient. So for that, at his conclusion, he has said one quote in referring to the Wolf of Wall Street: "A good guidance and a good lead makes a prodigy a good or bad." So that was really a nice one. And another thing is listing 3 to 5 skills or attitude of successful prodigy. He didn't list, but at the end, he had given a moral saying that if you ask help, that would improve the further towards his road, which is a very good one. Though he could have listed 3 to 5 skills or attitude, which would be good for his prodigy via an incident or so. Even when he was quoting a Toastmasters quote, he could have said some incident where he experienced such a tried from Guru Prasad sir or Priya, like from those two people, what he had gotten. So the last one is, what traits do you have felt it would benefit in mentorship role? He didn't, that question left was unanswered, but he could have answered it by quoting some kind of incident, though 5 to 7 minutes was his speech. So to sum up with this speech of his positives were the clarity, vocal variety, eye contact, gestures, audience awareness, and stand-up while presenting his speech was his positive. His suggestion should be, could have asked a question at the start. Closing could have been a little more clear. And the topic was not fully addressed as per the pathways project. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ramesh, on your effective feedback to the speaker. Now we move on to the third evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Dinesh, remembered by most of Medlians for his consecutive voluntary roles played in the Execom. if some of you remember that. At the same time, he's also very enthusiastic, active in participating in all the meetings and playing roles. He is an MBA graduate, currently working at a construction company in Chennai. And he has a mildly sarcastic comment on the Republic Day, but not on our great nation. He says, while he is proud of remembering the Republic Day celebrated by the largest democracy of this world, he also wants to just look back and see one of the oldest democracies in the world that had created some chaos in the name of democracy very recently, and still feels proud that we are more organized, patriotic, nothing offensive on any other country. Taking that on a lighter note, I'm handing over the stage to Toastmaster Dinesh for his evaluation.
Thank you, DTM Guruprasad sir. A very good afternoon to all Toastmasters and guests. Today, Toastmaster Shankar did an effective speech on the use of visual aids. And as I already mentioned, visual aids can be of any form. It could be not only PPT, flip charts, or boards. But today, Toastmaster Shankar had many positives in his speech. The first, he opened the speech with a question: what is your favorite holiday that you went with? Particularly at this time when we are all stuck with COVID, he remembered about our good old holiday days. Kudos to Toastmaster Shankar to get our members engaged on the very first sentence he uttered. Also, in his speech, the most important part I liked is there were many interrogative parts in his speech. For example, the interrogation between himself, Shankar, and the manager, where there is a to and fro conversation between both of them. That's a good way to engage the audience, not just maintaining giving speeches based on paragraph. And also the photos which he delivered, the most important part of his project. He used visual aids very effectively. For example, when he said that the mountains he visited in Karnataka or in Mullangi Hills specifically were better than the ones he visited in Vietnam or anywhere in the world, I was awestruck. I wanted to see how great they were. And he showed them the proof. He showed it in the photos he had. Whether he took the photos or he took it through Google doesn't matter, because he produced how beautiful the greenery and the mountain were, and also how the mist covered were so good to see. And also when he mentioned of the buttermilk falls, he says the falls had crystal clear water. We all also wanted to see. And he showed them in those photos. So kudos to Toastmaster Shankar to using visual aids in PPTs in a very effective manner in this session. And the ending, the structure of his speech was brilliant. The way he started from where they went to holidays, and accidentally they had to get locked down in Chikmagalur because of the heavy rain which was there when he visited Mysore, and also the smooth way in which we have to be open-minded in new territory, the exact words which he quoted. We may face many other problems when we go to, not only when we visit to holidays or even our business, but we may always be flexible and we amend ourselves to the particular situation. And these are the positives of Toastmaster Shankar's speech. Now coming to the recommendation, there is only one recommendation which I have to Toastmaster Shankar is respect to his body language. When he says that, when his manager says to him that don't pay any bills if you didn't like the trip, he could have crossed his hands and said, don't pay the bills, maybe something like that, emphatic. And also when he thanked the manager, that is the place he visited was very good, even though his initial feeling was to be very bad, he could have used his folded hands and said thank you to the manager, maybe something like that. But overall, Toastmaster Shankar, it was a brilliant speech given by you, one of the best speeches I would in fact say, and it will be etched in each and every member's mind who saw their speech. Thank you, and over to you, DDM Guruprasad sir.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Dinesh. With that constitutes the end of speech evaluation session, which is one of the key activities that happens through the observation team. I still have a small observation team that is going to submit its own report. That's called a tag team, TAG, timer, R counter, and grammarian. So I would like to invite first the timer to give her report. Timer for today is Toastmaster Renu. She loves India very much, and she's proud that we, the people of India, particularly the youngsters, how they are giving it back to the society in the form of reaching out to the underprivileged, the people who deserve better education, better life, reaching out to them, empowering them to be better citizens of this country. She's an avid storyteller and runs workshops on storytelling, and she's very proud of her recent achievements on conducting 2 storytelling workshops, that too one especially by the children for the children. And when it comes to this role, she's the most appropriate person because punctuality is her second nature. She had been inculcated with the habit right from her childhood by her father, and she hates waste of time in any form, because it not only wastes her time, it also wastes so many other people who are involved in a particular activity. So she always wants to be present and be punctual. Let me not waste any of her time. Handing over to Renu for the timer's report.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. So today I'm going to give the detailed report. The first speech was the project speaker was Toastmaster Tyagarajan. I had supposed to show him the green, yellow, and red for the first part of his speech, but I'm sorry to say that he overran that speech time limit. We went on to 16 minutes and 20 seconds. And the question and answer session, which was meant to be within 5 minutes, went on to 5 minutes, 45 seconds. So therefore, he's disqualified. Then Toastmaster Rohit took 7 minutes and 23 seconds. He's the only qualified speaker. Toastmaster Shankar went to 7 minutes and 35 seconds. Coming to table topics, DTM Thomas took 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Toastmaster Sundaraisan took 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Toastmaster Surya again 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Toastmaster Peryasamy 1 minute and 17 seconds. Guest Aishwarya was 46 seconds. Toastmaster Venkat was 1 minute and 50 seconds. As for evaluators, Sarvanan took 3 minutes and 26 seconds. Ramesh Rajendran was 4 minutes and 10 seconds. And Dinesh Shekhar was 3 minutes and 5 seconds. So that is my report for now. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Renu, for your crisp reporting. I move on to the next part of the observation team, who is Toastmaster Priyadarshini, playing the role of our counter. I know she very well explained the objective of her role. She is, of course, we all know her, a passionate evaluator and a very good, efficient speaker. And she finds a proud moment in her career when he was in her HR career. She was selected to be part of American School of Admin interview among the competitors. She finds it very proud on this nation, on her patriotism. She says, we have proved to the world that our Atma Nirbhar has won. Either it be COVID or be cricket, India is always in the forefront. She's very proud of that moment. And also coming to the activities she's performing, she was all at loss when we offered her the role of our counter, because just earlier, sometime earlier, she funnily saw some incident when she was driving on the road. She saw a bike running past her very fast. She said, ah. And after a few minutes, when she was crossing a signal, she saw the same bike standing near to a policeman with an apologetic face. She said, So she finds ahs and ums, a peculiar way of experiencing her day on her road. Or to you, Toastmaster Priya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Guru Prasad sir. Here's my report. Our first speaker constituted more than 50% of the total speech time, and he came out clean. Yes, I'm talking about Toastmaster Tyagarajan, giving 18-minute speech and coming out clean. Congratulations to you, sir. Our second speaker, Rohit. He had these words which were repeating, like at the end of the sentence, he tells it again, like listen to be, more than 75%, more than 75%. These were the repetitive words I was able to hear. Shankar had few R's. DTM Thomas Abraham had gave clean speech. In TT section, we have Sundareshan sir who gave a clean speech. Surya had 1 R. Peryaswamy had this word okay, which was repeating. Aishwarya, there were words like, you know, and there were a few more R's. Toastmaster Venkateshan, again, a clean speech. Saravanan gave a clean speech. Ramesh Rajendran, I could see there were more than 5 R's. Dinesh again gave a very clean speech. So it showed today that slow and steady wins the race. They were all very slow and the language was very clean to hear. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Priya, for your keen observation on your advice to people. Now we move on to the third person of the team, the grammarian, none other than our distinguished Toastmaster Sunil. Under normal circumstances, I would have used a typical introduction saying that there is no need for any introduction person, because he is so popular and famous for all good reasons, all friendly reasons. However, considering today's theme and scenario, I have many things to introduce onto him, but I'll stick to one of them. We know all Sunil as our passionate friend and a good friend and a distinguished Toastmaster. And also most of us know he's a lawyer by profession, that too specializing in intellectual property rights or copyrights or such things. So that's how even I feel this role also is more suited for him, because for lawyers, every word makes a meaning, or every word they make money. So he's keen on observing words and correcting the words. I don't know how many of you are aware, shall and will can gain you crores of rupees in a court case. That's it. Now, coming back to his other side, on his patriotism and passionate affection toward this country, I was really very happy when I heard this from him, that some crook, when he tried to copyright the word Chandrayaan, even after knowing that ISRO is going to send a flight moon, Sunil went and fought that case and won the word Chandrayaan for our proud and prestigious Indian Society, Indian Space Research Organization. At the same time, he also got them the copyright for the word ISRO's Bhuvan, the Indian-owned GPS. So he has done his bit for this case country using his legal knowledge and supporting the greatest efforts of the nation. Salute to you, Sunil, and over to you for your session.
Thank you, Guru. I think I forgot whatever I wanted to say. But anyway, thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Today, I'm a little bit sad because I tried to introduce easy word, constitute, which is resonate well with the Constitution. But we had a couple of people use the word Toastmaster of the Day, Guru Prasad, Speaker Rohit, and Evaluator Saravanan use the word constitute. Now, let me go to some of the outstanding usages here. Today, I like the Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Guru Prasad, the analogy of the birth of the Republic with the bringing up of a child. And it was really, really nice, Toastmaster Guru Prasad. And then some outstanding words, obviously none other than Toastmaster Tyagarajan for his beautiful words. I just picked up some outstanding words: explicable, promenade, captivate, solemnize, shudder. And Speaker Rohit, the protege, pop culture, then cheerleaders, mastermind, and Toastmaster Shankar for the words mesmerize and sarcastically. Toastmaster Thomas, unfortunately, I could capture only less words, sir. So fad, impulses, and Toastmaster Dinesh, interrogative. Now, some idioms, we had some usage of idioms today. Speaker Toastmaster Tyagarajan, sow the seed, and Damocles sword. And Toastmaster DTM Guru Prasad, out of the blue. Now, there are some interesting usages by our Toastmasters today. Toastmaster Guru Prasad was, twice he used the usage hearts and mind. And Speaker Toastmaster Tyagarajan, war babies. And Toastmaster Sundareshan, lazy walker, stubborn willingness. I found it very interesting. And Toastmaster Saravanan's usage, Chennai is a city, but Madras is an emotion. And Toastmaster Shankar, unknown territory. And Toastmaster Saravanan, again, roller coaster. So this was the outstanding usages and idioms and phrases. I just want to, regarding the improper usages, I don't have anything particular, but I just observed something that there was a lot of people who were using, confused between the past tense and the present tense, because in many places, instead of the past tense, many speakers were using present tense. I observed in more than one case. I think we should take note of this and try to improve. Thank you for the time, and over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, sir, Toastmaster Sunil. And that constitutes the final part of our Toastmasters meeting, where the second batch of observers gave their opinion, and we have almost come to an end of the typical sessions by the members of Toastmasters. Now, while we move on to the next session, I would like to sum up and close my session here by, first of all, thanking you all to be present here on this fantastic meeting, where we not only saw good speeches being delivered by speakers, and also we had some moments of understanding on the nostalgia of our great city, our nation at large, and also understood the value of mentoring, the value of getting mentored by someone, and also realized that it is nothing wrong to go and enjoy unknown territories where some surprises await us. Speakers really gave us fantastic moments to realize, and evaluators and other role players really played their roles well to encourage and motivate them in further growth of their public speaking platform. Finally, let us just enjoy for a moment a view of our glorious nation from the space. Gentlemen, this is the sparkling country to which we belong, which became a democratic republic 70 years ago, and we are celebrating. While celebrating, we are also proving our might and growth to the world, and also our peace-loving nation, peace-loving nature, and passion towards helping humanity as a part of one of our core values. Let us stay patriotic, stay friendly, at the same time, stay connected with the whole world. Let us spread peace and harmony across the world in the name of a Republic Day. And I hand over the session to the Master Evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster, V.N. Subramaniam. Again, to introduce him, I'm really proud of introducing him, not just for his 35 years of Toastmastership, not just because he is the founder president of Medley Toastmasters Club, not just because even after coming back from his roles or profession abroad, he chose to join back Medley Toastmasters. But behind all this, he's also a patriotic national. He is a social activist. He has played active roles in connecting with themes like Civic Ex Nora in making this country neat and clean. People realize the value of keeping our society neat and clean and hygienic. He has done so much beyond Toastmasters. I have seen them in some of his papers, some of his interviews, and through some of his speeches. I'm really proud to welcome you to this session, DTM V.N. Subramaniam, sir. Over to you for your master evaluation. Thank you very much. DTM VNS, the stage is for you.
Thank you very much for the nice introduction, DTM Guru Prasad. DTM Guru Prasad and me, actually Toastmaster International also was surpassed by DTM Guru Prasad, giving me a DTM even before the Toastmaster International gave me, when he was a division director, I think. Now, we, the people, can constitute many fronts where optimism is predominant. We are chronic optimists, incurable optimists. Today, the meeting started exactly on time, which has to be appreciated, and a big hand to be given to the executive committee, president, vice president, education, and all. A wonderful program, exciting program has been designed for today. Probably it is because of the master evaluator. When they said that, they are innovative, this executive committee and the president, vice president, education are so much innovative, and they created this master evaluation. After getting this master evaluation title, I have gone through the Toastmasters International, all the documents, 2 days. I could not find anywhere this master evaluation. Master evaluator, that role I could not see. So I am specifically thankful to the committee to create this and given me the opportunity to evaluate. 609 meeting, the president introduction was good, and the anecdote what he has done was exciting. Wonderful program. I'm just worried about why this wonderful program is ending now. And about the TMOD, he's actually a very, very humorous speaker. And I don't know, today he stuck to the Republic Day. And normally the Republic Day is rehearsed on the road 2 days before, and they had a journey and all that. And I found that his speech also was almost like a Republic Day celebration on the on the beach road. Now, I need not have, I don't have anything to teach Mr. Guru Prasad because he is a well-experienced Toastmaster, and he said 35. I have completed 37 years in Toastmasters. So 2 years maybe we didn't meet. Now, 37 years of my experience, I should only say, Guru Prasad, one thing, that prepare your Toastmaster program, please. Because when you introduce the evaluator first, and then go to the adjectives of speakers. They are young, energetic, handsome, and all those things you can do afterwards. First, ask the evaluator. This has to be prepared. When you prepare Toastmasters role, you have to prepare this in the same order. Let's all give a very big round of applause to the Toastmaster of the day for a wonderful program he has conducted in a successful manner and ended up with this master evaluation. About the speakers, I restrict myself to the evaluation of the individual evaluator. They have actually listened to the speech much better than me, and they have given their right evaluation. I certify their evaluation as my evaluation. Topic Master. Topic Master was introduced very nicely, and Topic Master was Mr. Dinakaran. He has brought very nice topics, and he has presented it also. And a small idea for him is, don't announce the name. First give the topic, so that everybody will think about the topic. Once you announce the name of the next topic commentator, all the other people will off their brain. They will not listen to your topic. This is obvious because somebody else already announced, So always topic session should be topics, not statements. What is the best thing I have done in these are all the very, very, these are not topics. Your resolution, New Year resolution. I think Mr. Thomas has commented very aptly for that. The topic session was conducted in a very nice way, and all the commentators also participated with interest. I think we have come to the end of the meeting. I have to only summarize that this is a wonderful, excellent, and nice meeting, which becomes a role model meeting for Medley. My appreciations and admirations to the President, Vice President Education, and all other office bearers. A small tip for the President: you have to make subcommittees for all office bearers, and in that you can put 1 or 2 of seniors also, so that they can brainstorm and make the programs little more vibrant and interesting. Over to you, Guru Prasad.
Yeah, I hand over the session back to the presiding officer. Thank you very much for your useful, productive, and effective evaluation, sir. I hand this session over to the presiding officer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Guru, for such a wonderful meeting. And I really appreciate the energy which you bring into the meetings. And especially what I wanted to point out, which I really liked, is the way you, as a TMOD, you performed in handling the Toastmasters within a table topic master in time. Like that is what, as a TMOD, we ensure that the meeting starts on time and ends on time, which is the MC of that meeting. And really, I liked it, and that should be an example for the upcoming Toastmasters of the day on how do you manage time, because it's with the TMOD which makes it responsible for a wonderful session that we enjoyed thoroughly. And it looks like it felt like a parade of the Republic Parade that we were watching. Such a wonderful thing. The speeches was really good, and I really thanks our charter president VNS sir in appreciating the general evaluator, master evaluator, which we say, which we have it in Medley as such. And thank you for the wonderful recommendations that you have done for given for the committee, and we'll ensure that we have a mix of senior Toastmasters included in the subcommittee of each of our executive members, so that we have a vibrant meetings in the coming forward. And now I think most of the guests have gone. We only had 2 guests. I think they have left. So now there's nothing to get the feedback. But one thing, Guru, that I wanted to say is today I'm standing at Motamadi to get a view of taking your recommendation that I'm outside and doing that, addressing the president. So it's really good. Like I didn't find any interference in my network connection. So that's a good point that I would want to do it, and we will definitely ensure that we have a thematic meeting in line with that particular thing. And I really enjoyed the meeting, and as our charter president said, it's one of the go-to or like a reference meeting that we have, and especially like the way the both the Toastmaster of the day and the general evaluator done. Now we will have the voting done. Surya, you're there. Like, let's have the voting done. So I'll wait for some few seconds to complete the voting done, so that we get the winners announced. See, the next meeting is going to be a very important meeting where we have a business session, and I request all the members who are present here, because we need almost 50%, above 50% membership. I request all members who are present here to be part of that meeting, and also speak to your mentees so that they also experience what parliamentary process that we have in Toastmasters and experience that particular parliamentary process. So with this 18 plus 18, we are almost crossing 75%. So I request all the current Toastmasters who are here, speak to one another member, and let's get the complete quorum for our business session, wonderful business session, because there are so many mailed you all the details of the session. And now, Ranga, do we have the winners list? So the best evaluator, the best table topic speaker. Ranga, you're on mute.
Best table topic speaker is T.M. Sundaresan.
Okay. And you could announce the rest of the winners also.
Yeah, unfortunately, I lost I don't have I'm not able to see the pop-up. Okay, there is a tie for the best evaluator between Saravanan and Dinesh. Both of them have got equal number of votes. The best speaker is, of course.
So with the tiebreaker, Ranga, I think as a tiebreaker judge, you can cast who is the best winner.
The vice president?
Yes.
It's a difficult choice, but let me go with Toastmaster Saravanan.
Okay.
And the best speaker, of course, is Rohit Madappa, because he's the only one who's qualified. The best tag player is Sunil Jose, the grammarian. And the best role player is RDTM Guru Prasad.
Excellent. Congratulations to the winners. And I really look forward to the next meeting. To that, we have our young Toastmasters who will be doing the Toastmaster of the day. It will be Atishay Jain, and the general evaluator is going to be Shankar.
And
So
we also have a business session.
Yes, and plus the business session. So let's have a wonderful meeting next thing. And February is going to be a lot more interesting with a couple of joint meetings with, I think we will announce it shortly, the calendar. Please look forward to that. And now with this imaginary gavel, let me close this meeting number 609 and open the chat session.
Yes, sir. Is Toastmaster Tyagarajan still available?
I think he disconnected.
Oh. Because there were many
what an experience